I wanted to make a short video today talking about something that is very deeply embedded in society and nobody talks about it like it's the biggest elephant in the room ever. And I think it is predominantly not spoken about out of fear. I have had the opportunity to discuss things with a lot of women in my lifetime. And one I just spoke with not too long ago, and I will keep her identity concealed, told me that she feels as if she cannot do anything that her significant other doesn't want her to do, or she is severely punished for it. Now, this is like covert abuse. This is threats. This is getting his boys involved and, humiliating her and making her feel less than and showing her she's outnumbered and outwitted and out bronzed, essentially, like physically, just in all aspects. And I have come to realize that not just lesbian women are targeted, but straight women are targeted when they do something a man doesn't like. And I thought it was worse for me because men are trying to make me have sex with them when I'm not attracted to them. Otherwise, I'm punished. But straight women are made to feel like they have to have sex with men or they're punished too. And if she just so happens to not be in the mood, then he threatens her for it. He'll find it elsewhere. He doesn't try to understand what's wrong with her and make it better. He pushes the issue, and if she rejects him, he gets angry. Now, why does any of this matter? Why am I saying this right now? Because if you do your research, men are at the top of the food chain. And maybe I can put some information out there so you can read and do your own digging around. But I am just concerned at the level of ignorance it takes to just live in society and enable the behavior. Why are people afraid to talk about it? Even men are afraid to talk about it because they know that they will be bullied too. It is like the alpha male, right? Is it the alpha male? The one that goes so psychopathic. I feel like I can't talk today, and that's predominantly because I have a lot of people in my head right now listening to what I'm trying to say. Which really sucks because my thought patterns are pretty clear when they're not in my head. I have moments where I lose my train of thought if I'm triggered, which is a normal PTSD response and a normal response to triggers in general. But yeah, I've noticed that if I've got somebody in my head that doesn't know what I'm doing, suddenly now I don't know what I'm doing. That is how bad it is. That is why I teach social etiquette to people, because if you want to be a respectable human being and you want people to treat you with respect, you have to treat others with respect. Simply put, you don't get to be inside someone's head 24/7 to see what they're doing, watch them shower with your mind's eye, see when they're masturbating, see when they're eating, try to choke them when they're drinking, shit like that. I've had stuff like that done to me. And then the group of people that are watching me 24/7 with their mind's eye are laughing together as I do it. And it is not always like that. It only happens like that when I speak out against something they don't like, or one just happens to be triggered and they go fucking psychopathic for a day. I know I'm talking in circles. I'm going all over the place. It's scattered, but that's the way my brain is right now. So the whole reason I'm bringing up the gender thing is because 95% of my assaults, my metaphysical assaults and issues are coming from men. Men are being hairline triggered by traumatic events in their childhoods and seeing me as the mother figure that did it, or the girlfriend that did it, that made them feel a way, and they are going on a blind psychopathic rage at me for however long. The last one was 3 months. My current one is like 5 days right now, sitting on 5 days. And I am forced to have to listen to what bothers these men. It is forced empathy. They are forcing me to be their therapist. They are forcing me to be their mother figure, and I do not give two shits about them. I don't care. If you want me to care, you have to care about me. If you want respect, you have to respect me. Otherwise, I am going to mirror your energy back to you so you know how it feels. But I am dealing with men. Men. And they do not have empathy. They seemingly do not have empathy. One little trigger, and they are beating you to a pulp, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And then once you're laying there and can't move, and then you cry and they laugh at you for crying, and then rape you right after you cry, and they're done laughing. And then they get another man over there to come down there and kick you again because he lied about you after he raped you and said you raped him. All the manipulation in the world, all the torture in the world. You're laying there, and then here they come saying you deserved it altogether. all together saying you deserved it because they enable one another. And one is saying, I don't agree with it, but I have to, otherwise it's going to be me. One is saying, you deserved it because you weren't fair the way you defended yourself in rape. I don't think that you should have pinched his sack when all he did was rape you. And then you've got another one that says, well, all you had to do was stop talking to your girlfriend and I would have stopped. All you had to do was stop talking to your girlfriend and I would have stopped. And the other one is saying, well, you shouldn't have defended your girlfriend when I raped her, or this wouldn't have happened. You should have took my side, or it wouldn't have happened. And all the explanations that they are telling me make no sense. And that is how I know I am dealing with lack of empathy. Because it doesn't make sense. I've got another one that says, well, you shouldn't have been a drug addict. You shouldn't have been abusing your grandma. These are all made up things. And they are besides the point anyways. You see, I could take something medicinally, and now I am a drug addict. And now everyone thinks I'm a drug addict. And now I don't have to have respect. People get to watch my daily life because I'm a drug addict. They don't want a drug addict to abuse their grandma. So now they're watching the drug addict not abuse the grandma, but they're watching her every day because that one particular person who called you a drug addict is watching you every day. They get the idea that it's okay to watch you every day because of what one narcissistic, unempathetic person says. People as a society tend to follow in sheep. Like, they're like a herd of sheep. Once one starts going, the rest start following. Whether it be right or wrong, why aren't they listening to what this person is saying? I'm here because she is a drug addict. I am here because she is abusing her grandma. Why automatically do they believe it, and why automatically do they stay? Because they don't respect me as a woman from the get-go. They don't. The ones that don't back off the most are men. And I'll tell you why. Because it is sexually gratifying for them. It is sexually gratifying. It makes their unempathetic souls quiver with joy to watch somebody that rejects them sexually on a daily basis because they are being rejected. Because this person can now not say no. No matter how much I say no, they're going to be there anyways. It is sexually gratifying for them. And that's how you know you're dealing with a sexually sadistic voyeur too. But that is what men become when you reject them sexually. Why are they that unhealed to where they have to have sex to feel accepted or loved or respected? Or what are they getting from it? They are getting a dopamine hit, and they are getting a sense of feeling loved. That's not love. That's not acceptance. That is just simply sex. But I have dealt with it time and time again. If men are rejected sexually, it shatters their entire being. Even if you tell them you are a lesbian, even if you tell them you are in a relationship, the first thing they need to know is, well, if she wasn't a lesbian, if she wasn't in a relationship, would she be with me? That is the most insecure thought you can have. Why do you need to know that as a man? Would she be with me? Would she accept me? Do you know how many men I have had to empathize with on that level and say, it is nothing personal. I am not rejecting your soul. I am just happy with the person I am with, and I am just happy in general being attracted to women. I don't want to have to decondition my mind to stop being attracted to women and recondition my mind to be attracted to men just so you can feel accepted. Do you realize how selfish that is? Why aren't they realizing that's selfish? Why aren't they empathizing with me? Why do I need to unravel everything for them to feel secure? Men are the most insecure beings on planet Earth. The fact that they need to dominate and harass and torture people that make them feel rejected or do not, women that don't let themselves be controlled are subjected to this the worst, is what I was trying to get to from the beginning. If he isn't bossing you around and dominating you and controlling you, which even shows in the bedroom, and it is not natural. It is not natural. As a society, we just say it's natural. It's natural to reproduce, but it is not natural to force somebody into something they don't want to. It shows how insecure at their core they are if they have to get you in that way. If they have to know that at their soul's level. Take that as a red flag. Especially if you are a woman who is attracted to other women, you are a lesbian, and a man asks you right away, would you be with me if you weren't a lesbian? Would you be with me if you weren't with her? Because that is his insecurities showing through immediately. And when you're insecure, you start to get paranoid, you start to become aggressive, you start to become hateful and jealous, and all those things spiral into very abusive things. Insecurity is one of the most dangerous traits to have. And I have slowly started to realize that men are the most insecure beings. Because I encounter them over and over and over again. It is rare that you encounter a fully secure man. And when you do, you're just like, oh my God, this is a godsend. Where did you come from? And those secure men are afraid to even agree with you about other men being like that, because they know how insecure men act. They are in blind, hateful rage without mercy in their heart, and they just gun for you until you are laying on the floor, unable to do anything about it. And They just say, okay, now you understand how I feel when you say something I don't like. If you feel that way over something someone says, you need to step back and work on yourself. That is not somebody else's responsibility to be your punching bag. That is not somebody else's responsibility to empathize with the way you are abusing them. And it damn sure isn't somebody's responsibility to keep their mouth shut about it so you don't look bad. You are in control of yourself. If you look bad, it is on you. Your character will always outweigh every fucking lie told about you. So if what you are worried about is your reputation, then let me tell you this. Yeah, someone ruining your reputation does hurt for a little while. Like, people will start abusing you over what they hear and what they think. But as long as you can be resilient and realize it's nothing personal and love yourself and heal through it, your character is going to outweigh it. Self-love is key. Self-healing is key. Nobody holds power over you anymore. Nobody can hurt you anymore. You just have to be resilient and understand psychology. So, I know I feel like I'm going all over the place in this video, but the key point here is always know yourself and always know others. And I want to put this video out because people need to start recognizing red flags before it persists. I am learning. If I had known what red flags were before some of these things happened, I wouldn't have participated in some of the conversations I participated in as long as I did. Let me just tell you immediately what I said. If a man is asking if you would be with him after you told him that you're in a relationship and you are a lesbian, then you're in danger. You are in danger. You need to just step back and say, hey, I'm sorry, I can't really talk about this right now. I'm very busy. Just, don't try to make a big deal out of it. Don't point it out. Don't say, hey, you're a narcissist or anything. Just say, hey, I don't feel comfortable talking about this right now. I'm busy. And if they say, hey, I want to be your friend or whatever, I would say, I can't right now. I'm too busy in my life or whatever. Just make an excuse. You don't have to be hateful, because one of the worst things you can do to an insecure person is call them out. Because insecure people are highly, highly affected by what others think. Because they aren't confident in themselves. They don't know who they are. Or they would be secure. If somebody calls them a name, they fly off the handle because they believe it. Because that's what somebody else says. They can't handle the lashback of what somebody else says. So they will hurt you. They will hurt you. If, they think you believe something bad about them. Just try to remain calm. Don't let them know that you know. And play pretend. Play pretend. Even if it makes you feel fake, it is pertinent that you do that if you want to keep your sanity. Because it will turn into a Well, do you think that about me? Do you think... No. I don't think that about you. I don't think that about you. Okay, because if you do... Okay, I don't. Let's talk about this. Why do you feel that way? And then, you'll be just minding your own business and they'll be like, the whole time, that made me feel uncomfortable. What'd you say? I'm gonna start a smear campaign about you. You made me feel this big because you said that. I mean, it is like enemy number one. Insecurity is enemy number one. And that is why I show people in my videos how to become a secure person, how to become less dangerous to society, how to become less dangerous to yourself, how to be more attractive to people. If that is something you're interested in, I'm personally not, because I am taken, but I just don't, I don't know. I don't know how else to express it. And I'm sorry, in this video, I might seem a bit off. I am not, like, reading anything I wrote down or anything like that. I'm just going from my headspace. And let me tell you, I've got at least 7 people right now trying to hear what I'm saying while I'm making this video. Which isn't right. I mean, all they have to do is go watch my video, right? Which they never will, because they know that if they click on it and watch it, they have now made the whole thing that happened real. And that is their only leverage in this situation, is just saying, that never happened, she's crazy. But yeah, there's a whole lot of other people that would say, yeah, that actually happened. That actually happened. And yeah, they actually did that. All they have to do is take accountability for it. You know how much easier it is to be a secure person and take accountability? Like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I'm gonna do better. And if they start judging you for your past, say, hey, I can't change the past. I'm trying to do better. I educated myself on how to do better. I made a mistake. I can't help it. Here I am trying to be a better person, and you're treating me like my past. That's not fair. That's not right. Do you want me to continue being a bad person? Why do you need me to continue being a bad person? So you feel better about yourself, or what? I'm trying to make things safer for you and me. I don't know. I just feel like that's a start. That is the best thing you can do. But yeah, that sounded a little bit threatening, right? Like me, for instance, I'll just tell you a me, for instance, story, because I've got so many people telepathically communicating with me right now that have done god-awful fucking things. And it isn't even as close to what I have done in my life. But I still think they can do better. That's the level I think at. I still think they can do better. And they can heal, and they can still take accountability and warn people of their behaviors. And then the right people will come into their life, right? People that, you know, will put themselves at risk because they want to get to know that person. Which might be very few people, but yeah, who cares? You're being a very considerate person by warning them. Anyways, story time for me. I moved out of my house, or my dad's house, as soon as I turned 18. I won't get into details because I am very aware that what I say in the public can affect people's lives. but I just needed to leave. We will say that. So I left my childhood home as soon as I turned 18 and moved in with my girlfriend. I didn't know anything about healing. I didn't know anything about toxic relationships. I didn't know anything. Like, I went to counseling when I was 14, but I didn't know, like, real therapy until I turned, like, 27. Anyways, the amount of ears on me right now is out-fucking-rageous. Outrageous. I can't even think. I can hear them breathing. I can hear them breathing. They're listening so hard. It's like, in my ears just to hear what I say. But yeah, my girlfriend and I didn't get along, and I ended up moving in with her because I needed a place to go. And then I ended up going and moving in with a friend because I needed a place to go. And then I ended up moving in with a friend because I needed a place to go. And then I ended up moving in with a girlfriend because I needed a place to go. And then I ended up moving in with a girlfriend because I needed a place to go. And then I ended up moving in with a stranger because I needed a place to go. And then I ended up moving in with a friend because I needed a place to go. And then I ended up moving in with a friend because I needed a place to go. And then I ended up moving in with a girlfriend because I needed a place to go. Now, how many mistakes did I have to make until I realized that I was hopping from place to place because I needed a place to go? It took me the last one to realize I need to take accountability for my behavior and realize this is not the way to live. I cannot continue to live this way anymore. So what I did was said, enough. I'm going to eat ramen noodles. I am going to buy my clothes from Goodwill. I am going to not do anything fun. I'm not going to have anything nice. And I'm going to save money. And I was able to put a down payment on my tiny house that I'm living in right now, which, I mean, it's a tiny house camper. Whatever, right? I consider it a tiny house because no camper is typically like this. Here's a quick tour. It's a mess right now. But yeah, it's got a loft, it's got a kitchen, it's got a bathroom, a shower, a bedroom, all of that. And it's getting warm in here. But yeah, it took me saying, hey, you know what, this isn't right anymore. Although it was cheap and I never had to stay in one place for too long, I took accountability for my behavior and prioritized my values, and I stopped getting into relationships, and I stopped even talking to people at all, because I realized that when I was in need and I didn't have time to just settle down and decompress from everything that happened in my childhood, I went from bad situation to bad situation, from bad situation to bad situation, because I wasn't thinking clearly. And I finally was able to sit down and say, okay, this is what I need to do. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I need shelter. I need to feel safe for a little bit so I can just decompress. And yeah, I got this camper. But I know it, and it sounds like I'm a bad person because I just hop. But I wasn't thinking like that at the time. I was just thinking, I cannot go back home. But yeah, that's my story, and that's how I took accountability, and that's how I changed things for myself. It's not always the easy route, but it's the needed route. So, and yeah, me taking accountability makes me look like I'm the biggest user in the world, but I don't care. I know who I am, I know what I needed, and I did what I felt I needed to do to survive my situation. And I think as long as you are real and honest with people, they will respect that. And if they don't, they're probably a fake person themselves. Who cares what they think, right? I have noticed this video has gone on for 35 minutes. I am going to hop off here, and I hope this video helps. I hope, other people aren't afraid to talk about male insecurity. And yes, female insecurity is a big problem too, but male insecurity is very dangerous because they do not have self-love. They don't heal themselves. They depend on women to nurture and love them instead of themselves. And they become very dangerous, unempathetic people. And I have been at the receiving end of male psychopathy, it seems like. Just love yourself. Just heal yourself. Stop hurting people. Ask yourself, would I want that done to me before doing something? Ask yourself, is it really worth it? Go inward until you can't anymore. Blame yourself until you can't anymore. Men don't do that. Men do not do that. They blame you for how they feel. Even if they're forcing themselves to listen to your daily life, they blame you for how they feel, and then they try to control it. Very dangerously. Very unempathetically. So there's my testimony. There's how I feel. And I hope that this video helps you. And I hope that, and I know I already said it, I hope this video helps you. And I hope that you can openly talk about it without being afraid. Because the more we talk about it, the more afraid they are going to be to abuse people in the dark and silence people for what they're doing because they don't want anybody to know. That's how shameful their actions are. They silence people after they abuse them. Control yourselves. Be better so we don't have to deal with you. I love you and thank you for listening.